Deciding what makes the cut in life isn't always easy. The universe isn't just out there, it's interacting with you. Claim your power by embracing the unknown. This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, and I'm here to ignite your curiosity. Don't just listen, embrace it. There's these moments in our life where we level up. And it's not always this conscious leveling. Let's say you've been investing in yourself, and you have been doing the steps and doing the work to make changes in your life. And oftentimes they're small, they're incremental, and we don't necessarily see the transformation that's taking place. Until one day we wake up and we realize that something in life is a little bit easier. Something in life doesn't feel like a struggle anymore. And we realize that we have turned the corner in some way. And there's this moment where we realize that the old ways of doing things, they don't feel the same. I know this is true for me when I increased my intensity for my workouts. I didn't feel as good when I was just sitting around. This has always been true for me when I make dietary changes. And then I go back and think, well, I can have that bowl of chips and salsa. But I don't feel as good anymore. And that's certainly true with our relationships, especially when you are the person who has been doing the work, who's been investing in the upgrades. And then you're around somebody who's still stuck in an old version. And there was a time in your life where that relationship felt very natural. It felt very comfortable, but it doesn't anymore. Things aren't the same. You've changed, you've grown, but it becomes difficult to have those conversations. Some people are really going to want you to stay at their level. They're really going to want to hold you to a version of you that suits their own interests. And I mean, why weren't we taught these basic building blocks of having relationships? I don't know, sometimes it really irritates me that I feel like so much of this learning curve is happening for me at midlife, and how much easier my 20s, 30s, and 40s would have been if we had been discussing these types of circumstances that we're all naturally going to go through. Conflict resolution. I mean, how useful would it be to have discussions about how do you resolve conflicts with people who have different beliefs, who have different understandings, who have different ways of living? And how do we show up in the world, maintain our own self-respect, and honor someone else's? It really feels like things are picking up in life. And there is this point of no return where I feel like we are being called to really step into this authentic version of ourselves. And we have been living in a time where we can straddle both worlds. We can invest in this future version that we imagine for ourselves. But then, you know what? We hang out, we live with people, we interact with people who want, need, and expect the old version of us. A lot of us have been in this position of being straddling both worlds, caught in both worlds. The new version of us has not completely shown up. We don't see it. We don't know where it's actually going. The old version of us, it's like an outfit that no longer really fits. We put it on. The pants are a little tight. We can't breathe. We can't move comfortably. And We wear it. We don't love it. But it was this old outfit that at one time we absolutely loved. And it's becoming hard to put it on. It's becoming difficult to wear it. And there's so many emotions about that. I mean, I've had these outfits that I've worn, and at one time I absolutely love them. And it makes me sad that I don't want to wear it. It makes me sad that I can't really wear it. It makes me sad that it doesn't feel comfortable. And I know for myself, I've had a difficult time letting go of those outfits because I'm also at a point where I don't know what this new version of Tracy actually looks like. One day I'll wear this style of clothes and it feels good that day. And then the next day I'll wear a different style of clothes and that feels good too. And I don't feel drawn to this specific version. So it doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel like I have fully come into myself. And I've been straddling this place in my life. But I also know this caught between two worlds, this cycle is coming to an end. And I have to be willing to let go of everything in this old version of me. I have to let go of the clothes. I have to let go of the mindset. I have to let go of the people, the expectations, the understandings, the thought process. I have to be willing to let that go if I want to fully move into the version that I'm longing to be in. And I know so many of us are longing to get out of this place that we've been in, this place where we felt like we've had to do so much work. And we're tired of doing the work. We're tired of just going through the trenches. And again, I don't want to sound like if you don't get on this train, that you're never going to be able to get on the train. But this time is really asking each of us to decide once and for all, what life do you actually want? You can't keep straddling in between an old version and a new version that we're going to be ripped apart metaphorically. And the new version isn't fully decided. It isn't just going to appear. It only appears step by step as we continue to make decisions. Some of us really don't want to fully invest, fully move into something because we don't know how it's going to play out. We don't know how it's going to show up. So I don't really want to go to get fully invested. But then I know so many people who believe that this is free will. So if it's free will and you have the free will to choose, it's never going to fully show up. Each of us will have to connect to faith, to trust, to believing in ourselves, to believing in our intuition, to believing that things are actually going to work out. So many of us have had experiences and they just didn't work out. And we got burned, we got hurt, we had a lot of stuff that we had to clean up. But what if this time is the time that everything is going to work out for you? What if this is the time for you to move, for you to be the version of you that you actually want to be? I have been parting ways with clothes that I absolutely loved. And it has been a sad process for me. There were so many hopes and dreams that I had at the point when I bought that. And not all of them came to fruition. But I can also see where I have grown immensely. I have changed. I have evolved. I have come into myself to this place where I feel so much more like myself. And I can't keep going back to that old version. I've had to let these things go once and for all. They're not in my future. They're not who I want to be, who I aspire to be. And this really feels like a time where we are being asked to define who it is that we really are right now and what it is we really want in our life. And to let those things go that no longer fit. Let the clothes go. Let the people go. Let the mindsets go. And it's difficult, I know, when we have relationships with people. And there are times where I've had to remind myself lately, no is a complete sentence. I don't have to explain to anyone why I don't want that. I don't have to explain to anyone why I don't want to go, why I don't want to participate. Especially in our close relationships, we feel like we need to explain. We feel like we need to give more information. No is a complete sentence. I don't feel that this is necessarily an easy time, but it feels like a necessary time. And a lot of us don't like conflict. We don't like contrast in our life. It would be easier if everything just flowed along. But in those moments of conflict, in those moments of contrast where we are seeing different versions than what we believe and what we feel, oftentimes it becomes easier to make the decisions that we need to make. It becomes easier to cut things out that no longer fit into our life. And if you need help, I'm sure there's a best friend out there who's willing to come over and help you go through the closet and help you eliminate the things in your life that don't fit, that no longer deserve your time, your energy. Things don't always show up until we're willing to create the space for something new to come in. Thank you for listening to this episode of Tracy Talks. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe, and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. Friends can find Tracy Talks available on iTunes, Spotify, Substack, and YouTube. Hit me up on Instagram and Facebook at More Tracy Talks. And until next time, we meet again.